खलीफा के हम हैं खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, हमारा हमारा खलीफा हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा, वो दिल है हमारा आका हमारा.
Assalamu alaikum et bienvenue à l'émission Cette semaine avec le Calife. Nous sommes honorés de vous présenter les points forts de deux réunions virtuelles avec des Waqfe Nau et des Waqifaat-e-Nau des États-Unis. Nous débutons par la réunion de samedi au cours de laquelle Sa Sainteté le Calife Quelles, soit son soutien, a rencontré des Lajna Waqfe Nau des États-Unis. Le week-end dernier, des Waqfe Nau et des Waqifaat-e-Nau des États-Unis ont eu la chance d'avoir deux rencontres virtuelles avec Sa Sainteté le Calife qu'Allah soit son soutien.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuhu.
Yes, please be seated.
Samedi, des Waqifaat-e-Nau ont eu l'occasion de rencontrer le Calife et après une courte session formelle, elles ont pu poser une série de questions.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My question is, how can we achieve moderation in our life and learn to be steadfast without being an extremist?
You see, Islam is very balanced religion, and if you follow the teachings of Islam, you will always be moderate. There is no teaching in Islam which takes you to the extremism. Islam says you have two rights to be discharged. One right is your right you owe to Allah Ta'ala. The second is you discharge your rights towards your fellow beings. So these are the two duties you will have to discharge. If you are discharging the duty that is huququllah, Allah's right, then Allah Ta'ala says that bow before me, pray 5 times daily, and if possible you can offer nafal prayers. Believe in one and omnipotent Allah Ta'ala. Believe that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam is our prophet, and during the month of Ramadan you fast for 29 or 30 days. So these are your obligations, and these are the rights of Allah Ta'ala. And then even in certain cases, in certain times, if you are unable to discharge your duties towards Allah Ta'ala, and you are not fully giving Allah Ta'ala's rights to Him, that is praying to Him or offering 5 daily obligatory prayers, then Allah Ta'ala says that if you are sick, you can offer your prayer while sitting. Even if you are totally bedridden, but your brain is active, then when you are lying on your bed, you can offer your prayer. If you are unable to keep fast during the month of Ramadan because of some sickness or some other reasons, you can complete this later on when the conditions permit you. And then the rights of the people you owe to them is that always be kind and helpful to the people. Pray for them without any discrimination, without saying that what is the color and creed or ethnicity or religion of that person. If they need your help, you help them. So if you are discharging these duties, I don't think that the slightest thought of extremism come into your mind. Okay.
My question is, the U.S. Supreme Court may ban women from receiving an abortion in all cases. Does Islam allow an abortion in the case of rape and in the case of health problems to the mother and baby?
There is the burning issue in the United States nowadays, huh? You see, Islam says that you should not kill your children because of the fear of their upbringing or because of the finances. That is the only thing which Islam prohibits for abortion. Otherwise, Islam says that if the health of the woman is not good, you can do abortion. If the baby is not properly developing, they can do abortion, even from the fetal stage to the later stage. In the case of rape also, if woman likes that she cannot bear the burden of this child because of the society, they will raise fingers on her all the time. And even if the child is born, he will also face difficulties in his or her environment. Then the mother can decide to get it aborted. Islam permits it. But not because that how can I take care of the child. This is the only thing. Allah says that I provide you for your well-being. I provide you your food. And I am the provider. Right?
My question is, what are some daily practices beloved Huzoor takes part in to take care of his health?
I used to do some exercise in the past, but not now. I don't think I take any measure or any precautionary measure to take care of my health or for the betterment of my health. From morning to evening, there's the work, so I don't find time to do some exercises or do something else. But at least you are young, you should do it. Take care of your health. This is your big responsibility, and you have been given the task to reform the world. And if you are healthy, then you can do your work in a proper way. Right? Chalo phir, Allah Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Le jour suivant, des Waqfe Nau des États-Unis ont également eu la chance de rencontrer Sa Sainteté le Calife. Après la séance formelle, les Khuddam ont eu la chance de poser une série de questions au Calife.
My question is, mass shootings, such as the one in an elementary school in Texas earlier this week, are becoming increasingly common in the United States. What should the United States do to avoid such tragedies in the future?
You see, show sense. Don't be senseless. That is the foremost duty of the people of the United States and the government as well. Where there is frustration, these things happen. If you forget your duties, your obligations, purpose of your life, then these things happen. So when these things happen, then this is the responsibility of Ahmadis. We, as a true Muslim, that let the people understand what are their duties and obligations. What is the purpose of their life? So, if you are discharging your duties, you owe to your Creator. You know that the purpose of your life is not just to attain the worldly targets, but to worship Allah Ta'ala, bow before Him, and always keep your eye on your life hereafter. Right? And then you should know that the second important task given to us as a religious person, as a human being, is to discharge our duties we owe to each other. So, if instead of trying to snatch and grab your rights, we should try to give rights to others. If every person realizes this thing and give due right to the other person, then this frustration will automatically vanish. Right? Until and unless you make these people realize the purpose of their life, you cannot stop this thing. And at the same time, you should also enact some laws to stop these things. You see, if there's no restriction, everyone is free to go to the arms shop and buy whatever he likes or she likes, then this should be the ultimate result of it. What is happening? So, in my view, government should also now take steps, and they should impose some restriction on it. At least if armed lobby is against licenses and restriction on it, they should at least limit some age, that this age group is not permitted to buy arms, especially automatic or semi-automatic. And at the same time, the programs which are being shown on television, internet, or all these media channels, they are also showing extremism, fights, and such type of things, which also make a sense of fun among the youngsters. That should also be checked and stopped. As far as we are concerned, we cannot do anything. This is the duty of the government to put some restriction on it, whatever they feel appropriate. Legislators should also enact some law in this regard. But our duty is that we should pray for the people of the world, for the people of our country. Allah Ta'ala give them sense, and also preach to the people and let them understand what their responsibilities are. So these are the things which we can do, right?
What role Waqfe Nau can play to help in improving the conditions of Ahmadiyas living in oppressive countries such as Pakistan?
So you see, you can only pray for these people. Pray for Muslim Ummah, that they take sense and try to accept the reformer of the age, the person who was sent by Allah Ta'ala to revive the teachings of Islam and guide them on the right path. So this is the only thing. Otherwise, these countries where there is too much opposition, you cannot do anything until and unless you have some power. And at present, we don't have that power. This is why the Hadith says, if you have power, you stop brutality, cruelty with your hand. If not that much power, then at least stop by saying to the people and ask them to take sense. right? And if that is not possible, then pray for them. This is what the hadith says of the Holy Prophet ﷺ. So we can only pray for them. Okay? That is the only solution. If you are praying fervently for them, then inshallah one day you will see the result. I hope inshallah we shall change the world. And this is why Hazrat Muslim ﷺ has said that Allah Ta'ala has told me that He will make the change in the world through prayers. So this is the only weapon in our hand which we should use properly. And also reflect on this and see how far you are trying to close yourself to Allah Ta'ala. How far you are absorbed in offering your prayers. While praying, you are fervently praying to Allah Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala listens to your prayers. Right? So now we should also first see and check our own inside. What we have, what we are saying is the same. What we want, what we preach, what we desire. If our own practices are not the same, then our prayers cannot be accepted as we desire. So reflect upon this. Right?
My question is, sometimes we go through phases in our lives where we fall weak in our religious obligations. How can we stay strong in our faith to overcome these weaknesses?
You see, it is saying in Urdu that the person who is sleeping, you can awake him. But the person who is already awake and pretending as if he is sleeping, you cannot wake him. So, you know your shortcomings. You know that sometime you are deviating from the right path. Then, at that time, you should say istighfar. Recite A'udhu Billahi Minash Shaitanir Rajeem. Pray to Allah Ta'ala that Allah Ta'ala always keeps you on the right path. So if you are praying your 5 daily prayers as prescribed and have been explained by the Holy Prophet ﷺ, then you pray in your prayers that Allah Ta'ala always keep you on the right path. So this is the only solution. There are some occasions when you are distracted because of the worldly things. But this is what the Quran says. Allah Ta'ala says, as soon as you realize that you are going on the wrong path, you just stop and return. And pray to Allah Ta'ala save you from further involving yourself in that sin or in that bad thing. So pray to Allah Ta'ala always. Istighfar is the best solution, best way to keep yourself safe from these bad things. And 5 daily prayers as prescribed by Allah Ta'ala and has been explained and practiced by the Holy Prophet ﷺ and have been explained in this age by the Prophet Muhammad. Okay? Assalamu alaikum.
My question is, as a qaid in a Waqfe Nau, how do I convince young Qadam to join the blessed scheme of wasiyat?
You see, you are qaid. What does it mean?
To serve the Jamaat.
What does qaid mean? Qaid is the leader. So you are the leader. If your words or your deeds, your actions are the same, then the people will follow you. They will try to listen to you. If they see that you are their sympathizer, they will come close to you. Whatever you are saying, they will hear it and they will try to follow it. So, first thing is that reform yourself. Be like a person who is following the true teaching of Islam and the Quran. And secondly, make your fellow Khuddam realize that whatever you are saying, you practice it. And then let them realize that you are their true sympathizer. Right? So let them realize that you want them to always remain on the right path. So when these things are being portrayed by you, then other Khuddam will follow you. They will listen to you. And you can also explain to them, this Wasiyat scheme is a very blessed scheme. If we join this scheme, Allah Ta'ala will also help us and give us the opportunity to reform ourselves. Although it so happens that sometimes some people do wasiyat, but they are not very pious and they go astray. When such things happen to them, or if these are the examples, then Allah Ta'ala also makes the circumstances in such a way that the person either leaves this blessed scheme of wasiyat, or in some other way he is expelled from that scheme. But mostly, if a person joins the scheme of wasiyat and he is a true follower, he has read the book of Al-Wasiyat, then they will realize that what their duties are and how should they behave. And being a Waqfe Nau, this is your utmost duty to be the example for others. So, you are the people who have promised to reform the world. You are the people whose parents promised, and then later on you yourself promised that you will change the world and bring whole of the mankind under the fold of Islam and Ahmadiyyat, and make them realize their duties they owe to Allah Ta'ala and to fellow human beings. So, if you are doing all these things, then there will be power in your words. And even without saying something, your actions will attract other people to follow you. Okay?
My question is, how did you choose the field of agriculture, and what motivated you to become a Waqf Zindagi?
Oh, very difficult question. Achha. What are you doing?
I just finished my third year of college, university.
What are you studying?
I'm majoring in biology to become a dentist, inshallah.
It's a dentist, mashallah. You see, from the very childhood, I had a keen interest in agriculture. So I wanted to go into the field of agriculture, but unfortunately I could not. But later on, after graduating with economics, and my father also asked me that if possible, you can go to agriculture university. And one thing is simply that there I had better opportunity to get admission than any other university. This was the simplest way, and because of my interest as well. So I got admission in agricultural economics or in the field of cooperation and credit. So there you have to deal with farmers and all these things. So there are some courses with regards to practical agriculture, that is agronomy and arable farming. And if you are outsider or you join the university after graduation, then you have to complete some deficiency courses. Since I knew agriculture and I had a keen interest from the very beginning, I used to go with my father to our family farm. So I did those deficiency courses with good results, and later on completed my degree in cooperation and credit as well. That was the main thing which caused me to go to the agriculture university and do agriculture. Second question is that what motivated me to become a Waqfe Zindagi. From the very childhood, I wanted to be Waqfe Zindagi because once I heard my father and one of my uncle talking that unfortunately very few family members of the Prophet Muhammad are going to join Waqfe Zindagi. So that engraved in my heart. But I didn't want that I do Waqf without any qualification. So when I joined agriculture university, then at that time I promised that if I get good grades, A grade, then I will do Waqf. I prayed to Allah Ta'ala that if you think that I am capable of doing Waqf, then please give me good grades. You know, as far as my own self is concerned, I am nothing. So I don't know how, but fortunately I had A grade. And when I had that grade, I was obliged to apply for Waqfe Zindagi. I wrote a letter to Khalifatul Masih Salis that now since I have completed my MSc degree and with good grades, I want to do Waqf. And he accepted. And later on, he asked me to go to Africa. And that is the whole story. Right? The shortcut of it. There are so many other things, but shortcut of it. Okay?
My question is, beloved Huzoor, you have repeatedly mentioned the application of absolute justice as a prerequisite to peace. What career should Waqfe Nau pursue to work towards this immense goal?
You see, I didn't only say that we should create peace in the world and ask the people to do justice, and that is absolute justice. But I also mentioned in my different addresses and discourses what peace is, how we can create peace in the society, and what is the definition of absolute justice with reference to the Holy Quran and Hadith and the Sunnah of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, right? And the teaching given to us in this age by Prophet Muhammad. So there are quite a number of addresses and lectures with all available references which can help you to understand what is absolute justice, what is peace, how can we create peace in the world, and how should we admonish the people, those who are distracting, deviating from the right path, and let them understand. This is why, as far as I am concerned, I do ask the people, whether politicians or other big people, knowledgeable people, professors, that they should also play their role in creating peace in the society, and that cannot be achieved without absolute justice. And what the definition of the absolute justice in the Holy Quran? There are so many examples. For instance, it is said that if you stand witness against yourself, you should do it. Against your parents, against your kindreds and close relatives. So this is how you can create absolute justice in the society, which is not being seen nowadays in this present world. So we have to preach, and these addresses are there in compiled shape, in different book forms even, and separate lectures. You read first, talk to the people with reference to those, because they are the ready references for you, and then you can distribute those. So this is how you can do it. You see, every Waqfe Nau can practice this thing, but in every field, wherever you are, you can ask your fellow workers that what the true teaching of Islam is, that how we can preserve peace in the society, how we can develop peace in the society, and what is the absolute justice, and what does it mean. And for that, those who are capable, they can also go to the public service, where you will have the better opportunity to profess your point of view. Okay?
Jazakallah Huzoor, I would like to say only a few words that it is an honor and a privilege on the weekend of Khilafat over here, Khilafat Day celebration that we are having in America. It is not a coincidence that we are with you in presence. It is the blessing of Almighty Allah and a favor of Almighty Allah that on this Sunday that all America is having, or most of them are having, Yom Khilafat.
Acha, mashallah. So you Waqfe Nau are celebrating Yom Khilafat in this way?
Yes, Huzoor.
Acha, mashallah. Okay, Allah Hafiz Nasir. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
C'était là les points forts de deux rencontres virtuelles qui ont eu lieu le week-end dernier. Nous terminons maintenant par le résumé du sermon du vendredi. Dans son dernier sermon du vendredi, Sa Sainteté le Calife Quelles, soit son soutien, a continué sa série de sermons sur le calife Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu. Vers la fin de son sermon, Sa Sainteté le Calife Quelles, soit son soutien, a demandé des prières pour les Ahmadis du monde entier.
पाकिस्तान के लिए दुआ के लिए भी कहना चाहता हूँ, अहमदियों के लिए ख़ास तौर पर दुआ करें। हालात उमूमी तौर पर जो बिगड़ रहे हैं वो तो हैं पाकिस्तान के, अहमदियों की तरफ भी ऐसे हालात में फिर इनकी तवज्जो हो जाती है, मुखालफत बढ़ रही है, पुरानी कब्रें उखेड़ने की तरफ से भी इन्होंने गुरेज नहीं किया। दिहाई बदतमीज़ किस्म के लोग हैं, अल्लाह ताला इनकी पकड़ करे। इसी तरह अलजायर के अहमदियों के लिए भी दुआ करें, वो भी आजकल मुश्किलात में गिरफ़्तार हैं। अफ़ग़ानिस्तान के अहमदियों के लिए भी दुआ करें, अल्लाह ताला सब पर अपना फज़ल नाज़िल फरमाए।